Here we go. Episode 52, Strong and Petty Podcast here in the Iron Age Gym in beautiful Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's been an oddly warm last few days, and we're enjoying it instead of the fucking brutal Arctic freeze that it normally is around this time of year. I'm here with my esteemed colleague. Esteemed colleague, Devin Penner, the man, the myth, the legend from Training Grounds Gym. And we've just finished the first event of our 2024 season, the annual charity log lift here at Iron Age Gym.
It is to be alive if you can't do that.
It's not something that you can just make up about yourself. You have to be able to show that you are as strong as you say you are. Especially if you're competing in strongman.
And what a turnout!
Yeah, man, it was fucking great, dude. I couldn't be more pleased. We had 40. I wish I had the actual number. I didn't count it, but it was like 40 plus lifters. I think we were in the neighborhood of like 45 lifters.
Yeah,
which is unreal. Especially when you consider that, like, say, I didn't do it, you didn't do it, Pat
didn't
Dan,
do it.
like a lot of the heavy hitters didn't do it. And so a lot of the guys that we would normally use to kind of like bolster those numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and to still have that kind of a turnout was great. We got a lot of positives to talk about from that. We got some things that were less than positive that I wanted to bring up about that too, but we're gonna save that for a little bit later.
A lot of money raised.
That's definitely the number one positive. The most important thing about all this, before we say anything else about it, was that we achieved our goals for the money raised for both the Dream Factory, which was a $1,500 goal that we set for that we hit that pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
We hit that within the first I
think within the first week or two.
Yeah, like it was awesome. It was really, really fast. We saw a lot of people who don't normally do like lifting or strength competitions or whatever get signed up, and then it always helps when someone who doesn't normally do this stuff does it, because they got friends who want to support and they got family who wants to support, and that's exactly what happened.
You hit a different demographic of people that we already pry for fundraising from year round.
We tap pretty dry sometimes, right? So especially with Deadlift for Dreams and with competing and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to get our greasy little fingers into other people's pockets. But we raised $1,500 for the Dream Factory, and then we raised another. It was like $1,515 for the North End Women's Center, which I'm really excited about too.
Did you drop that off already?
I'm gonna do it today actually.
Oh,
I'm really excited for that. Like I like going there because I don't tell them that we're gonna do it.
No, you just come in.
I just show up and I'm like, hey, I got something for you, and I just give them $1,500, and it's sort of an awkward exchange, but I like it. So I'm excited to be able to do that for them. Actually, one of the women who lifted, who is one of our competitors, who is doing the novice competition, her grandma started the Northern Women's Center. Yeah, so we have a nice little connection here to it, which makes it all the more fun to be able to go there and help them out a little bit, because I'm sure they can always use the money.
Absolutely, yeah.
Team Training Grounds had a fucking great day.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was really excited to see some big lifts out of those guys. I was so Gordy wanted 240. Gordy loves that 40,
dude.
And when we resorted the whole gym here, and somehow they're there now, but the iron plates that fit onto Devin's log were just lost in the shuffle somewhere.
So the logs are getting modified right now.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, so that'll never. Now we can run count. That'll never happen.
We have that problem every single year.
I know.
We don't plan for it.
Gord actually took my log. He's like, I'm gonna fix this one, the bent one, the Travis bent, and I have to cut the collars off.
Thank you, Gordy.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So we'll have that fixed for next year.
Yeah.
So basically, though, the long and short of it was that we couldn't make the log 240. We could make it like it
was 235?
235
or 245.
Or 245, which is the weight of the big dog log, the next one, which is like a very. If you haven't pressed the big dog log, if you watch Strongman on, if you're a fan of Strongman, it's the same log they used at Clash at the Coast. So it's like a fucking.
And they used to use it at the Arnolds.
Yes.
And all the big dog stuff was in the late 2007, 18, 19 was all big dog.
Yeah, it's a very heavy duty log, and it's very challenging.
Yeah.
The handles are like the hole for the handles is very, very wide, so the clean it'll twist on you.
Yeah.
The 12-inch diameter makes it very challenging. It's a real bitch. It's not a joke. Yeah. And I was like, when I told Gord, I was like, you're gonna have to do the 245 instead of the 240. He wasn't happy. I could tell that. And also, and I was like, fuck, I hope he gets this.
Dude, I'm as the ref and as coach. I'm like, if he misses 245, we're gonna hear it.
He's gonna punch a hole in my.
Oh, yeah.
wall. and I wouldn't be able to blame him. I was like, when he was going, I was like, get this, please God, Gord, get this fucking log. And he smoked it. He absolutely smoked it. And it was so it was nice to see. Not only did he get it, he fucking manhandled it.
Well, 230 was his previous PR.
Amazing. So 15 pounds. That's and 15 pounds on a different log too, which is really hard to put into like a number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's if I go and use your log at your gym, or if I go to, you know, when I went to CSM, they use a 10-inch log there with really wide, thick handles, and it's just like if you can hit a new PR on a log you've never hit before, it's worth even more, I think, than when you go back and you hit your own log.
CSM used a 10-inch log.
10-inch log, yeah. They use JF's one that he has at his gym. It's this very weird, like long blue
That's
one.
standard for women comps.
Yeah, and
12-inch for men.
There's a video where Martins Licis went and trained with JF, and he was like, 10-inch log. Like, you couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? It was a weird thing, but
you can hit PR presses.
Yeah,
but the clean suck.
The clean's a real bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was congrats to Gordon on a huge PR and for just doing what he always does, which is just show up and lifting hard, and his amazingly strong wife Jocelyn too. She had a great day.
That was a PR for her too.
Yeah, like it seemed like a lot of people hit new numbers, and I was just really, really happy to see that. I love being able to offer an opportunity, because so often when you're in these weight class shows, you don't get a max effort opportunity like that. So it's Deadlift for Dreams and it's the charity log lift are really your two chances if you're a U80 to U20, or if you're a really a woman in general. Yeah. You don't see a lot of maxing out opportunities, so I'm really happy to be able to just provide one little one for people like that. And then speaking of the weight class guys, Emmerdale Miranda.
That by far the best lift of the day.
The most exciting.
I know
lift.
It wasn't the heaviest lift, but
no, but it was. I mean, pound for pound, I'd say probably.
Oh, to walk up as a U80 guy.
Yeah.
And not a U80 guy who cuts to U80. We're talking this guy just rolls up at U80.
Yeah,
he's probably actually under. If there's a weight class under that, he would make it.
Yeah, he very well could.
And explosive guy. And he rolls up, and for context, for those who haven't watched his videos on, if you follow him, Emmerdale Miranda, I don't know what his Instagram is. I
think it's BOOJIE.
Oh yeah, Bougie.
I think Bougie.
Oh, I always call it Bougie.
Yeah, he's a little bougie motherfucker.
Yeah, he rolls up and he tries doing a push press with the 240
push jerk
with the 245. I think it was 245.
Not quite there.
Did not get it. Drops the log, takes a step back, and it was like shit. He's not going to get this. Yeah. And he's like, no, I got 30 seconds. Yeah. And he rolls back up to this bad boy, picks us up, cleans it, and does the fastest split jerk I've ever seen.
Lightning fast. I remember, you can hear me on the mic. I was like laughing. Like I just started laughing because I didn't mean that in any kind of like disrespectful way. And I'm sure he didn't take it that way, but I was just like I could not believe what I.
As a ref, I wasn't expecting to give a down command, so I wasn't even prepared for it.
It was one of those ones where it's like because he missed the first one and he was close with the push jerk too, but it was one of those ones where he put it down and the air kind of leaves the room where it's like shit, like he almost had that one. And then he goes for it again, and you're like, give it another try. And then he snaps out that split jerk, and you're just like,
no one gets it on the second try.
Yeah, it's so rare. It's just like it was
like generally, no one that day got it.
No,
besides him.
No,
there was no, and you know there. I don't mean one guy. I could say when he rolled up and he hit a lift, and he hardly hit his lift to second rep.
Yeah,
and then he called like percentage-wise, I'm not going to say numbers, but he called like a 12.5% jump. And you looked at me, and I looked at you, and we both just started.
Like, okay.
And I mean, kudos to him. He gave it his best shot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, man. That's the problem. Is a lot of these guys think in pounds, and they don't think in percentages.
Yeah, I think there's something to that too. Is they got to think a little more in terms of like the relative weight rather than just the absolute weight on the bar. And there was so many guys there that new faces.
Yep.
We saw a few guys that
Chris
were
Weeb's boy, first teen ever to compete.
The first Malachi Weeb, the first teen to officially compete in Manitoba Strongman.
Yep.
So congrats to him. Congrats to Weeb for raising a young boy who's.
Unless there was something early 2000s we don't know about. Since I've been in the sport, we haven't had a teen compete.
As far as I know, and it's a very exciting thing. And he's doing like the novice competition, and I would anticipate that it doesn't stop there for him. So fantastic to see. We just love seeing that.
I talked to Chris yesterday. I was rolling up to Booster Juice yesterday, and I guess he works close to it. Also, he just comes out as I'm getting my trucks. He's seeing the decals.
Yeah.
Red Rosati. So I chat with him, and he's like, because every time Chris finishes the comp, you get that post-comp blues where you crash, your nervous system crash, you're exhausted when you get home. Sure. You don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Somehow you guys go drinking and partying, but I go home. And
I find the energy.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do that, man. Props to you guys.
Yeah.
And so his son gets home just in the log comp. First time, I guess, competing something like where you get that adrenaline dump and all the nerves. And he gets home and looks at Chris and he's like, I'm exhausted, Dad. Yeah. Chris, that's how it is.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
But can you imagine the nerves of being a fucking 16-year-old kid doing it?
Yeah, you compete in certain sports, but you're a 6-year-old kid coming into a gym with so many 300+ men.
Yeah.
Is it very intimidating?
Sure, yeah.
Very intimidating. People yelling and
it's a high, like aggression's the wrong word, but it's a high intensity environment.
It is an aggressive environment.
Yeah, sure.
People are excited. They're PRs. Gord's mad. We don't have 240.
Yeah.
I
did it for you, Gord.
Yeah. Is Santa Claus gonna yell at people?
But yeah, nothing but respect for young Malachi for doing that, because I thought about that afterwards and I was like, man, like the nerves that I feel when I wake up on competition day, and I've been doing this for fucking 8 years.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the nerves that you would feel as a 16-year-old boy who's waking up for his first in front of a crowd lift, like however you want to call it, whether it's an exhibition or a competition or whatever it might be. Yeah. It would be a very, very intense feeling, I think.
But I mean, the amount of women we had.
And that's something too.
Yeah. The amount, I'm so excited for the new fates. I'm hoping we retain into the novice show.
We had a great.
We have a bunch in the novice show.
Yeah,
I hope we retain from the log comp into Tolstoy, the novice show into Tolstoy. I would love to put on shows where I'm stressed out but not getting it done in the timeline.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. Yeah. I mean, last year we saw a really great retention between we do it on purpose. We do the log competition because it's very easy to get involved in. Yeah. The novice competition because it's still sort of with the kid gloves. Yeah. And then that leads into the regular season where hopefully now you start to feel a little more comfortable with the idea. Because I think that if you just said to somebody, "Hey, do you want to compete in this competition?" They're like, I don't know about all that. Yeah. But if you can kind of soften it up with, we're going to do a log competition first, just single lift exhibition charity. Yeah. And then you're going to say, well, it's a novice competition. It's all beginners and blah, blah, blah. And then they realize it's not that scary and it's not that bad. And it's actually kind of fun.
And by then they've already met the pros or they've met the top people who've done nothing but encourage them.
I think that's an important thing, too, is that you really got to give them that exposure to the people who are here, that we're all friendly. Yeah. Mostly. We're all friendly most of the time. Yeah. We'll say that. And we're all encouraging and we all want to see people do well. And we said that a million times, but I think that people really do. I've gotten messages from people over and over again, and even since this thing here about how supportive and how great it was, and how people who do other sports and maybe don't feel that same level of camaraderie there. Yeah. So it was absolutely fantastic.
What was the kid's name? We were raising for. I forget his name.
Kingston. Yes.
So he was there, and that kid. He had a match run. He's sick, obviously.
He's been dealing with some health complications.
So which whatever it is, what it is. So, but I kept looking. I'm like, is this kid happy? But I tell you, man, his eyes were smiling the entire time, and his mom. And what I didn't know is his auntie's an Olympian soccer player, and she was here.
That either, actually.
She was here watching.
Oh, I wish I was talked to her. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either. But Candace told me at my gym on Sunday, and I'm like, as if I didn't realize that. Yeah. So he was asking because it's relative to weights, like what I think he was asking Candace what the weight is on there and stuff, and then she pointed at you and says, he's Manitoba's strongest man this year. Kick's like, oh, so the strongest man in Manitoba here is here? Yeah. And then she points to me, and he was the strongest one the year before. And then Kink's like, so two of the strongest men in province here?
The old 1-2 punch, baby.
And then she showed him the record on the wall. You have a 340 log. Yeah. And then people are nowhere near hitting that leading up to it. And he's just like, this is crazy.
Yeah. It was really nice to. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it. Like I said, he's been. I mean, the whole thing is because he's not doing great right now, but he's getting better, I think. And he was having a couple rough days in a row, so they weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it down. So it was really a joy to be able to see him there, and he was there the whole time. He sat throughout the whole thing, and he was
start to finish.
Yep, and he took pictures with the log afterwards and stuff. And I really was really happy to see that. Yeah. We would be remiss if we didn't. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, come down and see it, and you want to watch some of the lifts. Go to the Manitoba Strongman page, Strong Manitoba page. I'm not sure what it is, but YouTube. Just search that.
I'm gonna look it up just so we get that right.
Yeah, and Michael Thrones, who you'll see walking around in the background here, man, did he fucking kill it.
Yes, I got a lot of comments on that.
Oh, so did I.
And I haven't even watched it yet.
Yeah, this is a guy who one of his first cracks at this streaming thing that he's been trying to do was a national level show, and it was such a huge endeavor that I'm sure this felt like fucking child's play to him. Yeah. But he just smashed it. The camera looked amazing. The shot was great. We had commentary. We had a live scoreboard. It looked like like the way they do it, like the Arnolds or the Rogue.
It's at Strong Manitoba on YouTube.
At Strong Manitoba on YouTube, and it was. I really can't say enough good things about how he did it.
Dude, he had the weights going. He had stuff that the Arnolds and shit can't get right.
Yeah, because I was, and if there was any mistakes that were happening on the score sheet, it was because I was making mistakes. I was trying to MC and load, and do the score sheet on my phone for the women at the same time. But he had it set so that you could it had the person's last attempt, their next attempt, like where they ranked. It was just amazing. It was,
our Nationals video actually has 3,700 views.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, so we
218 watched the log comp.
Yeah, and that's
phenomenal.
Yeah, we're absolutely thrilled to see it because it's like a 4-hour video too. You know what I mean? So we Strong Manitoba people, whether it's me and Devin or the people who got great video out of that, there's everyone wants to see themselves lift afterwards, and you can just go on that and pull up whenever you want.
I feel we get majority of the credit for what goes on in the scene. I get a ton of the credit, which it isn't fair. Like I always say, Devin puts on a great show. I got a team that puts on a great show.
Collectively, we called it Strong Manitoba and not the Devin and Tyler show for a reason. Yeah, because we could never do these things without the people that are around us.
Like Thrones, me and you put out the money and bought the equipment for the live stream. But Thrones just like, I want to be a part of this. He volunteers his time just like we do and does it all. That's all free.
Yeah, he took these tools that we gave him and made something that we could never have figured out.
We can't even figure out the audio on our podcast.
We had our
this thing's bouncing off the red right now.
We had our first podcast last 2 ones ago where the camera didn't die. So we're doing our best here.
Clearly they know we ain't doing the live stream. Yeah.
But thank you to Thrones for doing that, we just finished talking to him about it, but we got to say it again. Thank you for doing that because, man, did that ever make for a fun, watchable experience. And we're going to do it again for the novice competition. We're just using these smaller shows as a means of working out the bugs. Yeah. And then we're going to have it for the regular season. We're going to have it for Manitoba's Strongest Man, and I'm sure for the Gimli show. And
for Magnus,
Yeah, so it's really exciting. It's going to be a great way to be able to watch these competitions.
We're going to break it into the mainstream.
Absolutely. Well, I know that Thrones is going to do one. They're holding a pro-am in Saskatchewan somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where. Jackie Oshevsky is putting on a competition.
Yeah, and she reached out.
Yeah, and he's going to be going out there and streaming that. So it's just, I love seeing this synergy and crossover and people helping each other with this kind of stuff. It's really fucking great to see. One thing I do want to address, and I actually want to preface this with more good, is that we want. Devin's sitting right here, but thank you to the training grounds people who just this was an Iron Age event. Yeah. But you guys still showed up. We used your mic and your speaker for the thing. You refed. Danielle the timekeeping. Yeah. Pat loaded. Mara loaded. Yeah. The training grounds people really come down and make these things able to happen the same way that I hope that when you guys do something that we bring our people there for it too.
Yeah. When you do on the novice show.
You're right. And it's so crucial. It's so crucial that we have these things, and I think it's equally crucial that we acknowledge them. Yeah. The people from the Vault, Taylor and Will, who came down, Taylor's the owner, and I think that I don't know if Will's a part owner or if we're just a coach there or whatever, but 2 major players in that gym.
Wow, did I feel fat next to her?
She's first of all, she's the longest athlete in Manitoba history, I think. Her arms are it's crazy.
I think she's made for deadlifting.
She's definitely made for deadlifting, but she'd make a great loader too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would love to see her do some more strongman stuff, Taylor, if you're listening.
And shredded.
And shredded to the bone too. Yeah, absolutely. Just looks like a marathon runner.
I just kept pulling my shirt like this.
Yeah, ignore this.
As the ref, how do I sit differently?
But her and Will, who people who run a gym, have clients, could very easily, I'm sure, find a different way to spend a Saturday, whether it's working or just taking a day to themselves. Came down here, raised some money, helped us out. Just little things that they got a shirt. You know what I mean? It's really appreciated just to show that when people like Training Grounds Gym and the Vault say that, we want to do stuff, we want to help, we want to support things, we want to grow a community, they put their money where their mouth is and they do it. Yeah. Now, I'm going to make this brief, and this is me speaking and not Devin. This is these are not necessarily the views of Devin Penner and Training Grounds Gym.
This is probably news to me.
But there are a lot of gyms in this city. There's a lot of gyms that whenever we put something out, like say particularly the charity stuff, because I didn't make, besides, like I said, I sold a couple of shirts from people who came in here, and thank you so much to those people, because that's an amazing thing. I didn't keep $1 of the money that we raised. We raised just over $3,000, and every single cent of that is going to a charity. There's no financial gain from this for me, and that's neither here nor there. But so when I say that people are not coming down and they're not lending their support to something like this, what I don't mean is that I'm not making money off of them. Is that clear?
I know what you mean.
That's fair?
Yep.
Okay. Because I'm not saying that you need to come down here and put money in my pockets. However, when these other gyms are having events that they're putting on that are putting money in their pockets, let's say there's a powerlifting meet coming up, and they want support from other gyms to make it so that these things can happen, please understand. Please know that when I say fuck you, I will not be helping you. I will not be supporting you in any way. Please know that that's sincere, and I really do mean that. There was, again, I'm not going to get into names or businesses or anything like that. The Vault and Training Grounds were two gyms that showed up. They walked the walk after talking the talk of saying that they're going to help and make things better, or do what they can to help make things easier and successful and all that stuff. There are other gyms in the city that talk that talk and do not walk that fucking walk.
Yeah.
There was specific gyms that I was thinking of where I was like, no representatives from them here, no representatives from them here. The owner of this gym isn't here, the coach from this gym isn't here that does strongman stuff. And those things don't go unnoticed. And I'm not trying to make this a petty thing because, like I said, this is a charity thing.
Yeah.
But when you come to us now and you want things like support from specifically Iron Age or the strongman community as a whole, which has been talked about before, go fuck yourself because you will not receive it. Is that fair?
Feel better?
I feel great. I feel great all day because I
love it.
I think it's really important that when everyone talks this shit about we want to make things, we want to help grow a community and strength sports is for everyone and this and that and the other thing, and that's all fantastic. But when I have an opportunity for you to help something grow, give money to charity, and at the very least just put a fucking body in the crowd.
Yeah. And you know what? There's guys that show up to these events. And there were guys that not everybody gets along with from other gyms.
Sure.
But yet they still show up and
still
support.
show up, yes.
Which is cool.
Yep.
It really is, because there's people who have issues with me. There's definitely people, and
there's no one who has issues with me.
Never. I'm sure there's people who have issues with me. They haven't told me, but I'm sure there is.
There's always some out there that you don't know about.
There's always something. Yeah, I've heard some trash stuff, which is fine because I talk a lot of shit myself. And but they still
we do it on here.
They still come to the events. They still say hi.
Yeah.
We still shake hands. We still have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the way it should be.
We don't have to like each other to be able to grow something together.
Exactly.
And that's the thing is that obviously it's easier. And and I don't mean to make this sound like it's just like the cesspool where we all hate each other. But there are conflicting personalities. Strongman is a sport of big personalities, physically big people.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to figuratively step on each other's toes in certain things, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But whatever. We don't all have to be best friends to be cordial and work together and make things happen for a community that's very important to us.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing that me and Devin get along as well as we do because it helps us to work together and it helps us to be able to grow the sport for people that we care about that are involved in a sport that we care about. But if for whatever reason me and Devin didn't get along very well, I would still think, well, it's important that I work with Devin so that we can grow this thing that I care about, even if I don't care about Devin all that much. That's
I agree.
A reasonable thing, I think,
absolutely.
right? So here's a last call, we'll say, for the people who have yet to support. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They just didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know. They didn't see that I tagged them in all the posts about it. They didn't see that I had been posting about it on my story nonstop, and it shows that they saw the thing on my viewed stories. They just didn't know. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. So this is the last call on that stuff. If these people are not, the registration is now open for Deadlift for Dreams, which is being held at Training Grounds Gym for the third year in a row. Third year?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we've held it 3 years. Yeah.
Yep. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing event. It's fun. It raises money for a beyond worthy cause. Now, if you motherfuckers can't get involved in this and can't jump on board and helps make this the most successful Deadlift for Dreams that we've ever seen, you're a piece of shit. Your gym is full of fucking pieces of shit, and I will do everything that I can to make sure that no one in my gym supports anything that you ever do.
I think this is actually the 4th year.
The 4th year.
I think. Yeah, I think so. Because the first 2 were McDonald's.
Yes.
1 and 2.
Yes.
First year was McDowell's. Second year we had to do at McDowell's, but I think because of COVID, right?
Right.
I think.
Yes, it was a weird one.
I missed. Yeah. Then that was a weird one. Third year, we did it at my place. COVID, had a video at all, we whatever. We had the vaccinated lift one day, and us crazies lift the next day.
and then the same amount of people the next day.
Oh, whatever, man. That was one of the hardest decisions of my life.
I wasn't allowed to go. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to be there.
Me neither. And I was. You know what? Yeah, man, I owned the place.
But it became you made the right call because you realized it wasn't about you or what you believe in or anything.
Because I was definitely on the far side of that whole situation.
Were you?
Well, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Just slightly. And I know they had asked, like, we got to follow house rules, especially being a charity.
When Devin says he was on the far side, what he means is that he was double masked up. he's still keeping up with his vaccinations.
7 jabs.
Yeah, he's doing his very best to not go out in public still. He waits till 5 minutes before the grocery store closes.
I give every trucker the finger.
Yeah. That's what he means, just to be absolutely clear on that.
But I remember that I was like, and they're like, well, we have to abide by code. Especially, you throw a charity into a southern town in the middle of COVID in Canada and have a bunch of crazies on camera with we had. I'm like, no problem. I can put my political views aside for this thing. Yeah. No, so we had a great time.
It was a good thing that you guys did because I get it.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who has a very hard time being like, swallowing your pride, as it were, right? But
I'm like, it's literally on my yard.
Yeah.
My house is here.
I can go anywhere I want to go on this ride.
I'm going to come out naked. And you're like, does that guy's dick have COVID? Because shit looks sick.
It looks very sickly.
Yes, we did that year. Then we had last year with bouncy castles. And
it's turned into a thing where it's like now you can. It's not just coming to watch.
And then we had dunk tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming down and making it a thing for the whole family, which is really nice. So that you can if you. We had one of the girls from the gym here bring her kid out to hang out and just watch some deadlifting. And also, hey, there's also a bouncy castle for when you get bored.
We're going to upgrade that this year again.
Yeah.
We're trying to get more stuff. I'm trying to get the Chamber of Commerce involved. I'm trying to get we're really stepping up our board members and trying to – actually, I'm looking for – hey, I'll just put a post thing on here. If you know anybody who's good at marketing and fundraising – now, it's not a paid position because we're all volunteers in this whole thing.
Right.
But we're trying to find somebody to come on the board with me and Curtis and Brian from Gains Performance to help us reach out to new demographics of business to fundraise for this. So if you know somebody who is willing to volunteer, it is strength sports related. It's just for Deadlift Dreams, not for Dream Factory. You're not working for them. You're just helping the Deadlift Dream cause.
Right.
Which this year is an even closer cause to me. Last year when Deadlift Dreams happened, my friend Kevin, we've been friends for 15 years probably, his daughter Ruby has Down syndrome, got cancer.
Right.
And was in the hospital for, I think, upwards of 6 months straight.
Wow.
There's little days where she'd get out. It was crazy. And hardest thing they'll ever have to go through, obviously. And I went to Carly, and I'm like, hey, and she had just got in Dream Factory. I said, next year, I would like Deadlift of Dreams to be for Ruby. I would love to fundraise for her trip. It's close to my heart. I work with the guy. Like he works at one of my distributors. And they made it happen. So Ruby is the girl this year.
Fantastic.
Now we raised enough money that there's going to be a second kid involved.
Right.
Because Ruby is the girl.
Just smash it every fucking year.
So Ruby's the girl this year, which is really close to my heart. So I even want to put an extra effort in because it's,
it's somebody you know, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be what was it, like fucking $30,000 last year or something like that?
No, 60.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe we reached over 60-something thousand, I think.
So I don't think that it's crazy, like the trajectory that thing's on. And then I'm not saying this year or even next year or whatever, but I think that like a long-term goal could be like $100K in a year or something.
Well, I would like to see 5 zeros behind a number this year.
That's fucking great, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So get involved. Anybody who can. Like it's just, and that's the beauty thing about Deadlift for Dreams is that the Dream Factory makes it really, really easy to just drop in $20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just go on the website, you click the link, and there's just an opportunity to donate right fucking there, and it's so easy. And I really
donate day of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I really encourage people to do that.
If you're a business who wants to step on board as a sponsorship, you get huge publicity from Dream Factory. You get social media posts, you get the day of, you get the news crews come out.
There you
go. So if you're a business who wants to step up, contact me, contact Carly at Dream Factory, contact Dave Beakley. He's the one who really started this whole thing. He's not with us on the podcast. He's still involved with Dream Factory.
He is dead now, but his spirit lives on in the Dream Factory.
Yeah, we pre-recorded a bunch of shit from him to put out for advertising.
You said the magic word of sponsor.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead with that one?
Yes. So our sponsor for the show, Jeremy Wiens, Realtor. Can't say realty. Realtor. Some legal stuff that you can't do these days is realty shit.
Realtor is better than realty anyway.
I think so, yeah.
It's much cooler.
Yeah. Realty sounds past tense.
That's true. Yeah, that's a
Realtor's
very passe.
present
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. Yeah, it's the now, old man.
Every week I got an update with this guy because me and Jeremy are also close friends. But yesterday he drove out 3.5 hours to look. I couldn't make it, so he found us a couple houses, and he's bugging us a week. We should really look at these guys. It's a good opportunity. I'm kind of heeing and hawing because as much as I'm aggressive, I'm very nervous to pull the trigger on things.
Sure.
So I'm like, I can't make it. I had doctor's appointments all week. I have no time this week to even drive anywhere. There's just not enough. There's no time. Actually, I think I have like an hour spare this week, and then I'm going to Thunder Bay this weekend. So I don't have time till like end of next week. So he's like, I'll go out there and look at them. So he took my partner Kendall, does real estate with me, and they drove out yesterday 3.5 hours. So Jeremy, it was 4.5 hours where he is.
Amazing.
Spent the entire day looking at properties. We pulled the trigger this morning, and he made us the offers. I think we should, we always talk about numbers with him. And where do you think we should be at?
Right.
Offered on 5 doors, and half an hour later got them all.
Jesus.
So,
Jeremy Wiens is he's an animal. He's a shark in the waters of realtorism.
Yeah.
And he will help you if you need your help with that. So
the downside of this is people are going to hear us and try getting him to get all the rentals sent their
you're,
way.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to lose out on this. This might have been a bad idea, honestly.
So, I bought 9 houses. I bought 11. I bought 11 houses in the last year and a half. I've flipped and bought, and they've all been through him.
Amazing.
Except, everyone was through him. There was not one that didn't come from a lead from him, on market and off market deals.
And I always want to point this out too, is that he's like a gym guy. He's a late stage, getting into it recently.
He's on a weight loss journey.
Yep, and he's
benched 315.
There you go. Well, really?
Yep.
Come on, you can tell. Go to the last guy that you used to buy a house. I fucking dare you to ask him if he benches 315. I dare you. There's no fucking way. Let's go down to the Royal LePage right now and start knocking on their offices and say, "Can you bench 315?"
Yeah.
I won't buy a house from anybody who can't bench 315.
Unless you're talking about Brad Hurst, who's benched 500 plus.
Well, okay. Well, then he's a weird
but
one. But
he's the one. Yeah.
I'm not. But that's 315 is now the minimum. I'm not buying a house from anybody who's ever benched less than 315.
That's the minimum now.
So
females included, get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, get a bench shirt on and get that shit going. Speaking of which, I want to talk to you a little bit about your foray into the gear lifting. Yeah, talk about it a little bit. You were getting busy this weekend with that bench shirt thing that you bought.
Yeah. So so I bought an F8 Widowmaker from Anderson Powerlifting. We're in down the Arnold's. I stopped at the booth because gear lifting's always kind of piqued my interest because I've just been a good bencher.
Right.
And I'm not really good at much else. So I seem to be able to press.
You're a nice guy, though.
Yeah, but I'm okay. Yeah. I'm average. And so I bought this Widowmaker. It's a single ply and double ply in one sleeve. It's like a slingshot. But
it looks, if you've never seen it, it looks like the heavy dutiest slingshot you've ever seen.
It's a slingshot on trend.
That's exactly right.
I wanted to use this weekend, but of course I did the stupidest Devin thing in the world, which is why I continue to stay injured. And I hurt my shoulder Friday night.
Right.
What
were you doing?
So I bought some new gym equipment. All right, I bought a Hoist 9 station for Fit Experience. I've been on a bit of a spending spree.
Very sharp looking piece of equipment you got bought there.
Shout out to all the guys, the training guys. I had 9 guys show up. We pulled out the old 9 station and installed the new one, start to finish, in 5.5 hours.
Amazing.
It was crazy. But anyways, so we're all sitting in the gym, so we might as well get pizza.
Absolutely. And
then with pizza sold as 36 beers show up. And so I'm putting on equipment. I'm 5 or 6 beers deep at this point. And I'm pretty sure it was Pat's idea. He said it was my idea, but whatever. He said, she said.
No one believes Pat.
Pat's warming up on the bench and, challenges me to 225 bench challenge or something got said along those lines from someone in the gym. And I'm like, yeah, I'll bench 225 enough for reps. I don't give a shit. Haven't drank water in 6 hours, so what does it matter? Not like I just coming out of physio for the first time in 3 years. I don't have a physio appointment booked this week.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, yeah. So he has 175 on the bar. I just jump on the bar, throw 175 round cup reps, throw 225, baby. Let's hit this.
Let's fucking do this.
Yeah. So we did it. Me, Pat, my brother Kyle, Sean Forrest, Tyler Fedork, another guy who did Unreal actually, and we start banging out reps. And I won with I got 27, which is nowhere near my best, but cold.
What's your 225 for reps?
Just 37 was my best.
Really? Oh man, I think I've done 32.
Yeah, that was my best. Yeah.
Damn, and I could not have done one more. That was fucking it.
So I did 27. Pat got 26 because he's a loser.
Loser, Pat.
Shit, he was brutal. You should have seen. I even helped him on the 26 rep. That's how
You're just
pathetic
rowing
he was.
up and down for him.
Oh man, what a loser! So the truth be told is he actually was going for 27. There might be a video circulating of me drinking a beer with one hand and proceeding to help him learn what gravity's about with the other hand.
Oh, I see. I'm sure Pat loved that.
Yeah, he tried punching me in the balls.
Yep,
he chased me.
That makes sense.
He was pretty upset. So anyways, that was Friday night. And I'm like, oh, I'm not hurt. I'll be all right. Wake up Saturday morning. Yep, I'm hurt. Yep, this isn't good. And I have a bench press competition Saturday in Thunder Bay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're doing that, eh? Yeah.
So, I mean, I can move it. So it's just muscle. But Sunday, we had the guys come out after the log comp. Corey came up for the night. So, Gord, Corey, you guys all showed up.
Yeah.
That was one hell of an environment Sunday.
Yeah, that was nice. Eh? I wasn't expecting that when we got there.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So I'm like, I want to try this Widowmaker out. And so I start warming up. I get to 300 pounds. Then I throw it on because I'm like, I need to just get warm in the press. And the shoulders feel low, whatever. But I went up to 500. I did a nice easy double. It looked
with the single ply part.
With the single ply, not double ply. Nice. Yeah. And I was wearing it wrong, a little bit. So because I've never worn this.
Right. It's all new. Yeah.
So I was gonna go 600 on Sunday. I'm like, well, 500. What? Let's. But I'm like, my shoulder was kind of like, you should probably not do 600.
Shoulders arguing with you. Eh?
Yeah. But Tyler Butcher, who I bought it from Madison Powerlifting, he's one of the sponsor guys there. I shot him over a video of the lift. I said, hey, thanks for the advice on the lift. I shot, he's a well-known powerlifter. He's benched over 1,000 pounds, squat over 1,000 pounds, like geared. Right. Multiply. And sent my video, and he sent me the feedback.
Amazing.
Yeah, drop it. So I had it way too high up in my bicep. So I was actually only getting the spring out of the bottom half. The top half was all me.
Right.
To lock this.
I would have done the same thing, though. I would have shimmied it up as high as I could.
I did, yeah. And he's like, no, keep it close to your elbows. Get it as far down your chest as you can so you get more spring out of the bottom.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, because I was looking at the video. I'm like, man, it's loose by the time I get halfway up.
Right.
Which is good for me because I want to hit a 500 raw bench this year.
That's cool.
So now I know that from the top half up, I have no problem doing reps with 500 for lockout.
Right.
So I was pretty excited. I got a lot of comments on my video. It felt kind of nice to feel relevant for a second again.
Yeah, no, it's and that's really, like I've said before, man, that's kind of like the beauty thing about I think strength sports in general is that, like, let's say that there's like strongman, which is like you need the most Jeremy Wiens, realty, there he is, realtor. Like strongman, you need the most like capacities. Like you need everything kind of has to work for you to be able to do strongman at a high level. But let's say you hurt your back. And it's like, okay, well, so maybe deadlifting's off the table and loading and stuff, but it's like, but you can always press.
Yeah.
Or let's say you hurt your pecs. It's like, well, I could do a big squats, or like let's say there's just always something that you could, like, if you want to focus on something, you can always find something to do. You know what I mean? And it's just I think that's just the great thing about it is like the guy like you who's pretty banged up.
Yeah.
And you have limited time, but it's like you can find something. You know what I mean? To keep pushing something and keep just feeling like you're training. You know what I mean? Like it's just
and I feel that's something. I mean, I have a torn shoulder. My super stance tendon's torn 2 spots and need surgery, but it doesn't bother me.
Right.
I mean, now it might be pissed off from Friday, but it doesn't. I think I don't want to, but I think the high, the high hundreds for bench is not out of range for me. That's what I'm gonna aim for.
Right.
I would love to see how 700-800 pounds feels in the hands. Even if I go double ply or even who knows. I'm still young in the terms of training at 36 years old.
Yeah, for sure, especially for a geared lifting thing too, where it's like you can do that for a long time and get good at it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be a skill acquisition thing.
It relit a fire that I used to have. Now I'm actually excited to train again.
Love hearing that. That's fucking great to hear.
Yeah.
I was going to say too, we like to verbally smack Pat around a little bit on here. Fuck, man, I haven't like been like up close to him in a long time. I feel like he's fucking huge right now, man. I kept saying it to him. Like I just like every time I saw him, I was like, Jesus Christ, Pat, you're fucking gigantic right now. Like his back is just huge and his chest is like he looks like a monster.
Yeah, he's 5'7".
Yeah,
but just as wide.
Yeah,
like he's thick.
Yeah, he's just I don't know. Like he looked. I kept having to comment on it, and I just kept having to touch him, and it was just he's just a fucking animal right now. It's great to see. I really like it.
Yeah. I'm looking for him to make a big. I mean, he already made a big splash this year. And he's not going to do the Westerns, the open one. He just said, it's just not for him. He wants to do the 105 path.
But that's a great,
and exhaust that.
That's a great alternative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a great thing to do instead. Because there's like, if he was like, I might just sit at home instead, I'd be like, come on, Pat, do fucking Westerns.
Yeah.
But I think that if there's a show that, first of all, it's going to be like, it's a very easy travel day to Regina.
Yeah, a lot easier in Vancouver.
Yeah, and the cost is low, and the reward's high. Like because Canada Strongest Man 105, that's fucking great.
And you get it when you go to the Clash.
Right. Yeah.
He might punch us. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they got now that it's Classic's putting it on still, but is it with NAS promotion as well? Or is that just Westerns? That is
just Westerns, I believe.
Oh, so maybe he can re-qualify for the Arnolds that way. Or,
who knows, man?
Yeah.
Like it's a good thing to be involved with, and it's just, as long as like I always say, as long as you're doing something, man. You know, I razz on the weight class guys, but when we're talking about competing against guys like fucking Isaac Mays, there's no easy way out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not taking the easy route.
Like you compete against guys who have beaten or competed against guys like Nicholas Camby.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like,
well, Isaac Mays beats fucking open guys on the regular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's no, like I said, that's not an easy route. So I don't by no means am I going to give him a hard time about that.
Yeah.
What I wanted to get into a little bit too is the stuff that we have coming up, which is we talked a lot about the novice competition coming up. Registration for that's closed. We have an amazing fucking.
I don't know how we're fitting them all.
We have I think close to 35 competitors.
Yeah,
we have more than we had last year by a significant number.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And we have 3 teens. Maybe is one of the girls
three male teen and 1 female.
Right. Okay. So we have 4 teens.
Yeah.
Which is just amazing.
Yeah.
Especially with one of them being female. That's fucking great. We have a very strong. We had a slow start with the women's
entries.
Sign up.
Yeah.
And then we ended up. I think we have like 12 or 13 now, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Just I'm
like
just
we're running
so
a 60-40 split on men to women.
It's really not a huge gap.
Which was back in the day you would get Mara, Anna.
Yep.
And then you would get Ariel came in and Jocelyn, but
Jose,
even then
Jose jumped in once,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'm really excited for this competition. There's a lot of people that I'm really excited to see how this is.
Becca and them too. I shouldn't.
Yeah. But I mean, it was just regularly that you wouldn't see a lot, and I really there's a few people from my gym, a few women from my gym that I'm really excited to see how they do in that situation. And they all intend on continuing on, which I'm really excited about, which is going to be great, which is what we could talk a little more about, which is Tolstoy, which is now open for registration.
Yep.
We've announced the events for that one, which is circus dumbbell, car deadlift, farmer's hold.
Yeah.
For that one, I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. We just don't want to fuck up their grass. So that's why we're doing the hold instead of the walk. Yeah. So we'll try to find a way to make that maybe exciting in some way. I'm not sure.
And then is it keg load or sandbag load?
We're going to do a keg, carry, and load, and then a mystery 5th event, which I know Devin hasn't because I have complete faith in him.
Yeah.
We have not told a soul.
No.
There's no competitors or people who are like only me and Devin know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. And
it's going to be a curveball.
It is, and it's a simple event. It's not gonna. It's not gonna be something that you're gonna see where it's like we haven't built like a wheel of pain or like or anything like that. But it's gonna be a simple event it's gonna be an interesting one for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so Tolstoy registration is open now. We've already had I think 3 or 4 people sign up.
I had 3 send me money already.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. So we really appreciate guys who get registered nice and early so we can start to kind of get the logistics of it.
12:32 a.m. was the first registration.
Amazing. Yeah,
middle of the night, and I think I woke up too.
That's amazing. So if you're thinking about doing Tolstoy, please get registered for that. We would love to have you. That's going to lead to provincials.
Sutton King sponsoring that again too.
Yes, yeah. We got Elsie's Hotel is our presenting sponsor on that
barbecue
one.
coming again.
Barbecue's coming. It's in like a nice little a nice little quiet town on the border, like the American border there. It's just I just really liked the day. It was really fun last time, and I'm really looking forward to doing it again this year. Following that, what I wanted to ask you, Devin, is without saying what they are, have you hammered out any of the events for Manitoba Strongest Man yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to reveal one today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's one I have to do logistics on it, but
whichever one you want to do.
There's one that I've been wanting to do for a long time.
A little sneak peek. I don't know any of the events.
Yeah. There's gonna be like I said, I have to do more testing.
Right.
There's gonna be a car bench press.
The car bench press. Oh, tremendous. That's very exciting.
I figure if we're going to do this show, I don't want to do it where I got to change the weight 50 times.
Right.
We're going to do it, and it's going to be set.
An open one like that.
It's going to be an open where I can't screw it up that bad.
Love it. The car bench press.
That will be in there.
We've been teasing this for a while. We've been talking about it. Oh, that makes me excited.
And it will be reps to your chest.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, so for all you half reppers, pat. Get training because it's cool.
That's very.
I'm excited because I'm probably going to use my old Fairlane, have a muscle car on there.
Nice.
And it's
gonna look sweet. That's gonna look fucking sweet. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe that's how we can do it for the next little while. Is we'll reveal week by week the events.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. I'll come up them and
And I really do like I know you kind of just got to take our word for it here, but I really don't know any of the events.
No,
like Devin has decided to take over the reins on that one. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
just so there's no sense of like favoritism or anything. Although I am very happy with that event.
Are you?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. No offense to you, but 2 years ago you weren't a great bench presser.
Well, I mean,
relative to guys who are benching 500 pounds.
No, but I think that.
But it has came around.
I think there's a lot of guys in Manitoba who are lacking in that category.
What's because you won the bench in? Didn't you win the bench in Cuba?
No, Kevin Caron did. He's got like a fucking 600.
Oh, okay.
But it was I did well. I do well on reps. I do.
So guys like Andrew Langelaar at a 450 bench.
He'll be a threat in that one for sure.
Chris Godin.
Yep. There's a lot of guys who will be really interesting in that.
Pat's a 400 plus bencher.
Yep. See that, and then the question will become is that these guys are great powerlifting 1 rep benchers.
Yes.
Does that matter that much when we're talking about, probably closer to that double digits number when it comes to the bench press? Well, to find out. I'd be curious to see. I'm really excited to see.
We're going to use my red car deadlift. I was just thinking that because I can extend the handle, or else you're going to drop a car on your forehead.
Right. Yes, we will have to get a little creative with it.
I'm trying to figure out a jack stand situation for safety. Having 2 spotters each side for lifting. It'll be. It's going to be cool. Not even that. It's going to be cool to watch girls bench press in a car.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's going to be.
That's great for pictures, man.
Yep. Yeah. That's going to be a very, very exciting event. So. I guess let's start. I mean, I know that we've seen a couple guys who have some fucking mean bench presses in Manitoba. So if you don't, get started on it because it's not going to help itself. What do we have for time here?
I don't even know. Computer shut off.
Yeah, computer shut off on us.
What else do you want to touch on?
I don't know. Was there anything else you wanted to hit today?
Tolstoy. Yeah, I mean Magnus. That's going. And we've sent all the invites for that. You got your invite.
Oh, what I wanted to talk to a little bit about was. Just the Westerns that's coming up too. So that was like the Magnus I got my invite too, which I'm very excited for. Tough crowd.
Yeah.
Tough crowd at that one.
Dude, yeah.
That's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
There's some big boys coming up.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see what that final list of guys shakes out to because I mean even just like the Western Canadian guys.
Yeah.
If you like when I look at the roster for Westerns that they've kind of started to announce, it's like, man, this is like a fucking greatest hits of strongman here. Yep. You got Tristan Hoth who just pulled fucking 400 kilograms, 880 whatever, 886 I think.
Yeah.
And this is not in any way disrespect to Tristan because I know he's insanely strong, but I didn't know he had a 400 kilogram deadlift.
No, and it wasn't in a suit either.
Nope.
No, it was
raw as Tristan
take
likes
that,
it.
Jeffers.
Yeah, take that, Jeffers, you fucker. No, it was amazing, and Tristan's one of those guys where it's like I think a couple years ago. He might not have been as much on the radar as like this guy will be an international because he had an amazing showing his first time at CSM. He got like 4th place or something like that. Everyone knew he was really strong, but he wasn't a guy that was just being talked about enough.
No.
And now he's just putting up these numbers. He's getting wins at big shows. He's still young too. Like he's young. I think he's a year younger than me.
I was hoping to see him at the WSN qualifiers.
For some of the jabronis that they picked for that, I would have liked to have seen Tristan in that one too. Not that Tristan's a jabroni, but like. It was a really weird list of guys this year. Like we saw like guys that I'm really into, like Wester Winsky. I think that's a good pick. That's looking to me at the future of strongman. He's a guy where he's going to be fucking amazing, and he's already like really really good.
Yeah.
But like say like Max didn't get invited.
Yeah.
And he's hurt right now, but he wasn't hurt when they were doing the invites.
But I mean, he still plays decent at the Arnolds this weekend.
Yeah, he's a guy where not inviting him there kind of confuses me a little bit, but. It's all whatever they choose, but I think that Tristan is a guy. If we're looking at guys from Western Canada, I think that like I could very easily imagine both Tristan and Jeffers someday being in that next tier.
Yep.
That next level of guys that are that we perceive as like the upper echelon of strongman.
Yeah, the top 1%.
So it's very very exciting to think that these could be guys that we've. That I've shared hotel rooms with. Absolutely.
Sorry, my bad.
No, we slept on other sides of the bed, right, guys? The whole room separated us.
I mean, we had them on the podcast. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They exactly friends of the show.
They loved my jokes.
Yeah, everyone loves your jokes.
They thought they were amazing. Yeah.
And then but like I said, like Western just playing like a greatest hits, and like that spot the jockeying for top 4. I'm very excited to see how it turns. I hope it turns out in my favor because I can't like it's just like I see the way that Dan's improving.
I think the top 6 is going to be really tight there.
I agree. Yep, I agree. And there's guys who who aren't
like I see Jeffers and Holth on the podium.
Yes, I would say that those are.
I think they're jostling for 1 and 2.
I think that one of them would really have to fuck up to not end up on the.
But I think your 3rd place to 6th place, and there's 4 invites.
Yeah.
Are going to be half points or points separating.
Yep, and there's guys like everyone instinctually looks to like the list of pros, whatever, and there's me and Colton and Dan and Larson and stuff, and that's great. But there's also guys like Crisby who's really, really strong. Who's turned on?
He's done a lot in his offseason.
Yep, and he could throw a wrench in something like that real easily. And it's the thing is that I'm trying to like let's use the example of like Dan at like in his last amateur season last year.
Yeah.
Not only would he have had to fuck up to lose competitions, he would have had to like
really screw up.
Really, really, really fuck up to lose any of those competitions. Like he was just the same way that I was the year before.
Yeah.
There's just no way that he like whatever. Whereas, if we consider say a guy like me to be a contender for the top 4, I really wouldn't have to fuck up that badly
to be out of it.
To be out of it.
No, you're literally screwing up one event.
Yeah. And I'm everyone knows that my grip sucks, and that's kind of what fucked me last year. And I'm working on it. I think that the Dinny Stones, as far as a grip event, is kind of a good one for me.
Yeah.
It kind of is a little bit of a wild card in terms of grip stuff.
It's more pain threshold.
It's a pain thing. I'm gonna learn some different tips and tricks, but it's an interesting one, and I really think that it's going to be a really, really fun competition to take part in and also to watch. I think that's going to be. It's just getting to a level now.
And who knows who's entering from out west that we don't know? They're the new guys.
I haven't seen they haven't announced all the guys yet. They've only announced like 3 or 4 competitors. So it's a really exciting time. I hope everyone's watching that one and paying attention to that one.
It's gonna be a wild show. It's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be wild, and the mag is coming up, and we'll get more into each ones as they get a little closer.
What an exciting year for strongmen!
It's every year it gets better in Manitoba, and in Western Canada, like by extension, like everything's improving, and it's just
when
like
I started putting shows on 7 years ago, we'd get 10 to 12 competitors max,
and that was like pulling them in.
And when I went back to the barn to look at all the sheets on the wall. I'm like, oh, these shows were so huge back then. I looked at like 8 names, 9 names, 10 names, 7 names. I'm like, I thought they were massive shows.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
And now we're putting on shows 35 to 40 is our average.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Did you not to switch gears too harshly, but did you watch the Arnold UK?
I watched clips of it.
Man.
Yeah.
So Lucas Hatton, like unfucking real, gets on the podium his first time doing that. Like he just won the power challenge, which is the yoke into the circus dumbbell.
Yeah, pretty cool event.
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting. And like manhandled those fucking dumbbells. Manhandled the log.
Yeah.
Like just an unbelievable.
Was he the only guy to complete the dumbbells?
Yes.
Yeah.
That
was
even,
him.
Even in a field a field with like fucking Mitch Hooper and Thor and stuff.
Yeah.
He's man, is he ever a guy to keep your eye on? But on the Canadian front, Mel and Sam both had great showings.
Yeah.
Sam in particular, who tied with Lucy Underdown
in the bag throw.
Unreal. I think they got to 19 feet or something, 19 and a half feet.
She gets her deadlift up.
We were sitting there watching it. Yeah. And I was like, I really fucking wish there wasn't a deadlift next because I know that's it's a week event for both her and Max.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, like she's doing so fucking good. And like, it's just,
she gets her deadlift up there. Yeah. She'll be podium.
And she's so young that like it's just like that. She has so much time to improve that, and it's just like, and she's so tenacious, and she's such a vicious competitor.
And she's small compared to some of the other
girls.
That's
the thing too is that
she prefers to stay lean.
Yeah, her and Mel are both 180 to 190 pounds.
Yeah,
which to a normal woman that might seem very heavy, but when we're talking about in terms of the women that they're competing against, some of those women are closer to the 300-pound mark.
Yeah.
And they're
crazy strong
and unbelievably strong, and it's just it was really, really amazing to see Sam with the throwing, because he was just the other women would I don't think I've ever seen so many made third attempts as I saw in that competition. People would miss, and then get it, and like miss by a lot, like really miss it, and then smoke it sometimes. And Sam just hit it first time, I think, except for the last 2. She hit it first time every fucking time.
They were at 19 feet?
19 or 19 and a half feet.
Yeah.
And and it was like 28 pounds or whatever the fuck it was. And me and Gian were just watching on our couch, and we're watching, like, it's done. It's already over.
Yeah.
And we're jumping out of our seats. Like, we're
excited.
Yeah, we're just, like, we're just losing our minds. It was so fun to watch. And Mel did an amazing job with the deadlift, like she always does. Like she's just a fucking deadlifting monster. I would love to see some opportunities for the lighter women to start setting opportunities to set world records and stuff like that, because she's just like a monster with the deadlift.
Yeah.
And not to discredit a guy like Max too, where he showed up there with a fucking torn lat.
Yeah, it's completely torn.
And still tried and beat guys. He's fucking amazing. Like he's an amazing competitor. Just to fly with a torn lat, I'm sure felt horrible.
Oh yeah.
Never mind a long ass flight like that, and then the jet lag.
Working the show a bit. I think if I'm correct, he was working some boosts maybe.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that you don't just go to those things as a
pro.
pro. You're hustling the whole time you're there.
Yep.
And it's really a shame, because if you look at those events, you would be like, did Max pick these events himself?
I know they were. Yeah.
There's a fucking heavy log.
Mm-hmm.
There's a throwing event. There's the yoke into the circus dumbbell. Like these are just like there was a farmer's carry.
The events that if he wanted to get on a podium,
oh my god,
that was a list uninjured for him.
This could have been a win for him. It was almost certainly a podium, and it could have been a win. And it's just such a shame that it didn't go that way for him. But having said that, to just the gutsy fucking performance to show up and try all the stuff that he tried. It was unfucking believable. So respect to all three of the Canadians who just did and the other Canadian, he did fine too. The three Canadians who the real Canadians who smashed it, and the ones that I know that anybody who listens to this they're the ones that we all know and love.
We all know and love.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we can pretty much put a pin
down
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get signed up for Tolstoy.
Yep.
We're gonna probably, I would say, next week we'll open up registration for Manitoba's Strongest, because that's only like a week after Tolstoy, or 2 weeks after Tolstoy.
Yeah, 2 weeks after. Yeah.
So I like that though, because it's going to be challenging, where it's right after Tolstoy for the people for the AM guys who are going to do it, and it's right before Westerns for the pro guys who are doing it.
Yeah.
So it's not
well,
like
and even the guys rolling in. It's right before Vida.
Yeah, so it's gonna be challenging for everybody, which I like.
And it's not like 2 years ago where you show up to show and you automatically qualify provincials.
Fuck no.
We now have enough people in weight classes where you won't qualify.
If you don't show up your best.
So you have to something. Lane last year missed nationals because he
Yep.
couldn't make Vida, and he missed one spot.
Yep. So if you if that's at all your intention, I would say get signed up and just show up and have a good time. That's what we're looking forward to. And if you can't. Drop me and Devin a line if you want to volunteer or help out in any capacity. We always
looking
use
for
that
volunteers.
Too. Yeah, we lost one of our amazing one of our top two volunteers.
Yeah.
In Brian Bergen along with his wife Janaea.
Yeah.
He's competing this year, so there's a huge hole in our helpers.
That's a huge hole for me. Yeah.
So we're gonna.
Brian's got a huge hole.
Brian. If when I think of one thing about Brian, I think a huge hole.
Huge hole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
So we'll leave it at that for today, I guess. With Brian's huge hole. At Devin Penner, at Training Grounds, Strong and Petty, Strong Manitoba, Chud Life, Iron Age Strength.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Comment on our shit.
Yeah, we've
I
done
don't
the
even care
switch
if you yell
over.
at me.
Nope.
Make fun of me. I don't care.
Yep. We've done the switch over now to our own YouTube channel, so populate it. And thank you very much.